Hi guys, it's just Adam and today we'll be discussing the current situation with the London Stadium and why West Ham fans dislike it. I've been to it, so I'm not a big fan of it. I'll be discussing all that kind of stuff in this video, so remember if you like the history and the stuff I talk about and the elements of the video, remember to leave your feedback, tell me what you like and you don't like. But if you do like it, and you want to be part of a community, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. And let's get into the video. Obviously, in 2016, West Ham moved out of Upton Park for the last time. The Bowling Ground, as it was called, but they called it Upton Park. It's a very historical football stadium if you know what it's been turned into, and it had an identity to it for West Ham, but they moved to the London Stadium, which was obviously called the Olympic Stadium. It was built for the Olympics, which was quite big for the UK back then. I remember when I was young, it was always on the TV and stuff like that. But West Ham don't fully own it, the stadium, and the move was very unpopular at the time, and it still is very unpopular. And obviously I'm just going to talk throughout this video from my point of view, and I'll be reading out fan kind of stats essentially. Obviously the move was quite controversial because of people feel like they lost the heart of the club, which I feel like they did, because when I went, the view isn't as bad as people say it is, because you're in a good seating position. I'll put my picture up on the video, but the atmosphere is dead. It is dead. And West Ham were known for having great fans, and it has sucked the soul out of that stadium. Obviously, the main song "Blowing Bubbles" is brilliant. It's a brilliant song, but it's what it's lost in the sense of a constant atmosphere. They need to be winning before they sing, and they don't sing many songs. That's not a criticism of West Ham fans, but it's a criticism of just the way the stadium's shaped. The sound just goes right out. It doesn't stay in. That's why older stadiums are much better. They were built for atmosphere rather than money. But obviously we have statistics here. Between 70 and 80% of fans rate the atmosphere as poor or very poor, which I would agree with. Over 90% say it's worse than Old Ground, and worse in the sense of what it can create, but it's worse. It's probably better financially, as in obviously all the stuff around the stadium, they get good profits from that. But it is quite a distance when you're trying to get home from it. It's to the hotel, it's on the other side of the city. The tube's amazing, right? But it's kind of hard to, because you can only really get one way, and you all get clammed up. But when I was there, you could only really hear Newcastle fans and West Ham fans. It just feels it is soulless. It is a soulless stadium. Obviously, the matchday experience is bad because the lack of West Ham pubs in the area, because it's such a new stadium. It's like all the old pubs, which when you're Upton Park are quite far. It's not majorly far away, but it's like moved from the area. It's just not good. Like, I don't think fans agreed when they moved in the first place, but it's just the owners took over for money, moolah, as they call it. And obviously, the arguments for keeping the London Stadium is the capacity. Obviously, when they were getting to semi-finals in Europe and all that, can be seen as good, but they were always going to need a new stadium eventually. Whether that was redoing the old one or moving to a new thingy. But fans say it would have been unlikely because a new stadium would have cost them more. Because to redo Upton Park would have been a big task and might have cost millions, hundreds of millions or billions. And they don't have the ownership for that kind of money. But basically, in summary, it is a horrific stadium. That is no doubt about that. But Upton Park, was it up to the standards that it could be, or could it have been done up? I want that kind of opinion from West Ham fans or football fans who have been to the old ground, and because obviously I was a lot younger when it was about, and I can only do as much research as I can. You tell me, was it as bad as? Was it bad like you had to move, or was it bad as in they've only moved for money, or was it just it was great you didn't have to move? You genuinely didn't, because I don't think you had to move. In my opinion, it didn't. What I've looked at the old stadium, it was kind of getting run down, but it could have easily been done up. And now it's flats, I think, or that's Highbury. But obviously, I think talked about the atmosphere issues and obviously the structure, but I don't think the team not doing too well in recent years since the Conference League win has helped at all. And a lot of, I think it's commercialised a lot, West Ham, because of the area that it's now in. I don't like. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't agree with half and half scarves unless it's a big game. Like, see, I got a half and half scarf because it was on offer, but that was the only scarves that I could see in the stadium. Like, there wasn't just West Ham scarves, it was half and half, and I just don't agree with that. Obviously, there's probably a lot of tourists coming because of Newcastle, but I just don't agree with it. But that was, I think the club's commercialised this new stadium too much, and it feels like West Ham are losing their identity. Hopefully they can get it back soon, because the once Hammers has dropped its equipment, and now it's like they can't afford the Hammer. It's a very weird example I've given there, but it feels like they've had the two hammers together and one's fell off its perch, and they've just the board especially has probably made the wrong decision here. And yet, I'm sorry, but a club like West Ham, you need to take in fan opinion. But as I said, you give me your opinions, and I'll make more videos about West Ham, and obviously I've previously done the Spurs and Arsenal. Your opinions matter, and as I said, we're trying to build a community here, so remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching, and good